All right. Well, also at the White House today, a reporter asked the president about the release of hostages potentially being held in Gaza.
Mr. President, is a hostage deal near? Sir, is a hostage deal near? Mr. President, is a hostage deal near? You believe so? Yes.
I believe so, but I'm not prepared to talk to you. He was asked again, and he said yes. Joining us now, one of the top Democrats on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman Brad Sherman from the state of California. Congressman, thanks for being back here on the Hill on NewsNation Thanksgiving week. You're taking out your time. We do appreciate it. I'm wondering what you're hearing about a potential deal for hostages and what that may or may not look like.
Well, I hope very much that we have a deal. A humanitarian pause that lasted 5 days, I think, would be helpful, but the release of those Israeli hostages is just critical. And I think this also shows that it made sense to insist that before there be this long a pause or a ceasefire, that it be accompanied by a release of hostages. I think
so. You're for a 5 day pause of some sort.
I think a 5 day pause if it involves the release of scores of hostages is a fair deal for Israel.
All right. I'm wondering what's going on within your party, within the Democratic Party. For example, here was Senator Bernie Sanders over the weekend. He said, quote, "The Netanyahu government, or hopefully a new Israeli government, must understand that not one penny will be coming to Israel from the U.S. unless there is a fundamental change in their military and political positions." That is conditioning aid to Israel, Congressman. I know he's not a Democrat, he's an independent, but we all know where he lies on a lot of these issues. What do you make of what the senator said there?
Well, it's important to differentiate between earmarking aid, which we definitely have always done, and conditioning aid. We earmarked this aid to be used for Israel's strategic defense, chiefly its Air Force. They're not supposed to spend the money on soccer stadiums or domestic education. It's supposed to be spent for defense, and that's what it will be spent for. The other approach is to condition it, to say that the money won't be there unless Israel changes its other policies. And I've always opposed that, and I think the vast majority of Congress opposes it as well.
What's going on within the Democratic Party, sir? Because, you know, Senator Van Hollen, I'll show you a couple headlines here. Van Hollen calls on Biden to, quote, "speak more clearly on civilian casualties." Senator Blumenthal from the Hill calls on Israel, U.S. to release more intelligence on Gaza's Al-Shifa Hospital. Just about an hour ago, 13 Senate Democrats wrote to the president today calling for the need to protect civilians, sustained aid, and medical attention for the sick and the wounded. Is it just, are Democrats here trying to move left and satisfy the left flank of the party?
Democrats are always the party of compassion. We all believe in humanitarian aid. We all believe that Israel should take every effort to safeguard civilians. We are all incredibly sad to see so many Palestinian lives snuffed out. And I speak of the civilian lives, obviously, different when it comes to the Hamas fighters. And we are all incredibly sad to see the deaths of Israelis on October 7th. I think is nothing unusual about Democrats wanting to say, let's be careful and let's do all we can on the humanitarian side.
But I guess the question is the focus shifting from Israel winning a war, we're in the middle of a war, and eliminating Hamas at all costs, versus, you know, essentially not taking that picture, not taking that position.
The vast majority of both the Republican and Democratic parties want to see Hamas snuffed out. But we want it done carefully. We want it done with us providing food aid and other aid to Palestinians. And I think that can be done. I think Israel has done an outstanding job of weighing with each military action the civilian effect and the military effect. Keep in mind, when we bombed North Vietnam, we never provided warnings. When we waged war against Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan, we never provided fuel to them. We tried to prevent them fuel themselves. So look, war is terrible. And those who want to see a humane world don't want to see war. And even a war that's waged according to the law of armed conflict is still a terrible thing.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.